Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're diving into something huge, AI governance. Artificial intelligence is reshaping our world faster than we can keep up, and figuring out how to guide it, well, it's not just a nice to have anymore, it's an absolute must. So, where do we even begin? Well, let's break it down by looking at the two sides of the AI coin. Because this is a technology that brings both incredible opportunity and, yeah, some pretty significant risk. On the one hand, the promise is just immense. Think about it. AI can automate all those repetitive, boring tasks, freeing us humans up to be more creative and boosting productivity like crazy across pretty much every industry. But then there's the other side. This rapid-fire development is throwing some serious challenges our way, things we've never really had to deal with on this scale before. We're talking about everything from hidden biases and major privacy issues to really fundamental questions about ethics. And that brings us to the million-dollar question, right? How do we get all the amazing benefits of AI without, the bad stuff? How do we actually harness all this power responsibly? That's what everyone is trying to figure out. What's so great about this quote is how it completely flips the script. The solution isn't to slam on the brakes and stop AI development. Not at all. It's about building the guardrails, the framework to guide it, making sure it's helping the business while protecting everything that matters: your data, your assets, and your reputation. And listen, if you think this is all just theoretical, think again. When we don't have those guardrails in place, the consequences are very, very real. We saw it happen with Amazon's hiring tool that had to be scrapped because it was biased against women. We've seen it with facial recognition systems that just don't work as well for people of color. The risks are here now. So what's the answer? How do we manage all this risk? Well, it's a framework called AI governance. This is basically our blueprint for moving forward safely and smartly. What is AI governance really? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like an operating manual. Or maybe even better, it's the steering wheel for this incredibly powerful new technology. It's the set of rules and roles that make sure you're the one in control of where your AI is headed. Now, what's really important to get here is that this isn't just one single thing you do. Nope. Effective governance is a whole comprehensive framework, which we can break down into 3 core pillars: having a clear strategy, properly managing your data, and building strong defenses. All right, let's tackle that first pillar, strategy. Because, you can't really govern something if you don't have a clear plan for it, right? And any good strategy has to start with one fundamental question: who is actually in charge here? Because let's be real, if everyone is responsible, then in the end, no one is. You've got to define who owns what from the very beginning. And this chart just shows it perfectly. It really does take a village. You've got your leadership team setting the big picture vision. You've got the tech folks who are actually building and maintaining this stuff. You have the people actually using the tools every day. And so critically, you have the governance and oversight groups making sure it's all done securely and ethically. Okay, another massive strategic choice is the classic build versus buy debate. Do you build your own AI from scratch, or do you buy a solution from a big cloud provider? If you build, you get total control, but man, it is expensive and slow. If you buy, you get speed and scale, but you might lose some control over your data. It's a tough call with big trade-offs no matter which way you go. Now for pillar number 2. And honestly, you could argue this is the most critical piece of the entire puzzle: the data itself. You've probably heard the old saying in tech, garbage in, garbage out. Well, with AI, you can multiply that by 1,000. If you train an AI on biased, incomplete, or just plain wrong data, you are guaranteed to get a biased, incomplete, and wrong AI on the other side. So, how do you actually get a handle on your data? Well, it starts with something pretty basic, but super important. You can't manage what you don't know you have. That's why building a solid data inventory is step number 1. You need to know what you've got, who owns it, and where it lives. And it's not just about having a ton of data, right? It's about having quality data. That means it has to be accurate, reflecting the real world. It needs to be complete, with no big holes. It's got to be consistent, up to date, and actually valid for what you're trying to do. Only when you check all those boxes can you actually trust it. Okay, on to our final pillar: building the defenses. We need to put some really robust security around these powerful AI systems. Now, this is a really important point, so let's be clear. There's a two-way street when we talk about AI and security. First, there's security for AI. That's about protecting the AI itself from new kinds of attacks. And then there's AI for security. That's using AI as a tool to make our overall security even stronger. Totally different concepts, and you need to be doing both.
So, building these defenses means our old security playbooks just aren't going to cut it anymore. We have to adapt. This means you got to constantly check what the AI is putting out, trust but verify. You need someone, a person or a team who owns AI risk. And you have to update your cybersecurity plans for brand new threats and demand audits so you can always trace back an AI's decision.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Where do we go from here?
I think the most important thing to remember is this. AI governance is not a barrier. It's not red tape designed to slow you down. It's the exact opposite. It's the framework that actually enables innovation because it gives you the confidence to move forward safely and responsibly. And if you need proof, just look at the numbers. The data shows that nearly 3/4 of organizations that are doing this right, that have a real generative AI solution in place, are already seeing a return on that investment. It literally pays to get this right. So look, this isn't some far-off, futuristic problem. It's happening right here, right now. The technology is here, and it's getting smarter every single day. So the final thought I'll leave you with is this. AI is here. Are we ready to take the wheel and steer it?